You're watching S24 Rundown. I'm Zainab Ibrahim, bringing you the latest developments from across Nigeria and around the world. Now on the news in details. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai is set to file a no-case submission in his ongoing alleged wiretapping trial after the Department of State Services, DSS, formally closed its case before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The DSS is prosecuting El-Rufai on a 5-count amended charge related to alleged unlawful interception of communications and national security violations. At the hearing, Prosecution Counsel Oluwole Aladedoye informed the court that the agency would not call any additional witnesses, prompting the defense, led by Paul Erokoro-San, to argue that the prosecution had failed to establish sufficient evidence against the former governor. Now, technical glitch on the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, portal has disrupted the payment of students' upkeep allowances, leaving thousands of beneficiaries without their monthly stipends for nearly 2 months. A source within the agency confirmed that the delay was caused by system issues and ongoing reconciliation of affected transactions, adding that efforts were underway to resolve the problem and restore normal disbursement. Honorable Chimaobi Atu, the member representing Enugu North-South Federal Constituency and the House of Representatives, has defended his decision to leave the Labour Party for the All Progressive Congress, saying the move was motivated by his desire to attract greater development and deliver more benefit to his constituents. Speaking while presenting his 3-year scorecard in Enugu, Atu argued that political parties are merely platforms for service and that his alignment with President Bola Tinubu and Governor Peter Umba was based on their commitment to infrastructure, security, and economic growth. Operations at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Shagamu, Ogun State, have been severely disrupted following an indefinite strike embarked upon by members of the Association of Resident Doctors. The doctors withdrew their services over the non-payment of several months' worth of allowances and other welfare-related issues, leaving many patients stranded and causing delays in medical services across the hospital. Emergency and critical care services have also been affected as doctors insist that the government must address their grievances before they return to work. Finally, on the internationals, the United States has imposed sanctions on a Nigerian national and 3 Nigerian-based companies over allegations that they helped facilitate funding for the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS. According to the U.S. government, the action is part of a broader crackdown targeting 3 individuals and 6 entities accused of moving money for ISIS operation across different regions. The sanctioned Nigeria identified as Mukhtar Adamu Muhammad was alleged to have acted as a financial facilitator for ISIS in West Africa, while the affected firms were accused of being owned, controlled, or directed by him. The 3 Nigerian companies named in the sanctions are 99 Exchange Bureau de Change Limited, Manhattan Bureau de Change Limited, and Generation Currency Bureau de Change Limited. U.S. authorities say the measures are intended to disrupt terrorist financing network and restrict access to financial system used to support extremist activities. Moving on to our next segment, the business news updates with Hadiza Galadima.
Thank you, Zainab. Welcome to Business Updates on S24 Rundown. As the week gathers momentum, attention remains fixed on Nigeria's foreign exchange market, energy sector reforms, infrastructure expansion, and efforts to boost food security. Investors are also monitoring developments in global markets amid concerns over energy supply and economic growth. Here are today's top business stories. The Naira maintained relative stability at the official foreign exchange market as the Central Bank of Nigeria continues efforts to improve transparency and liquidity in the FX markets. Market analyst says ongoing reforms and improved interbank activity are helping to support the local currency despite sustained demand for foreign exchange. The CBN recently introduced an updated foreign exchange manual aimed at strengthening investor confidence and enhancing market efficiency. Moving on, there are indications that fuel prices may moderate in the coming weeks as Dangote Petroleum Refinery reduced its ex-depot petrol price by 75 naira per litre. The adjustment follows declining global oil prices and increased competition in the downstream sector. Industry operators says the reduction could eventually translate into lower pump prices for consumers as existing stock is exhausted. Next, Nigeria's drive towards economic diversification received a boost with fresh investments targeted at agriculture, manufacturing, and digital infrastructure. The African Finance Corporation has backed a $7 billion fertilizer expansion project expected to strengthen food security and support industrial growth across the continent. Meanwhile, industry stakeholders continue to push for greater broadband expansion and digital infrastructure investment to support economic growth and innovation. And on the Nigerian stock market, trading on the Nigerian exchange closed on a mixed note as investors weighed corporate earnings prospects and the impact of ongoing economic reforms. Despite pockets of volatility, market sentiments remained cautiously positive, with investors maintaining interest in a fundamentally strong stocks amid expectations of improved economic conditions and strong corporate performance. Finally, on the international scene, the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, World Trade Organization, and the International Energy Agency have warned that disruptions in global energy supply chains could pose risk to economic growth and fuel security. Despite ongoing geopolitical tensions, the IMF says the global economy has remained resilient so far, although energy markets continue to face significant uncertainty. Now, price is what you pay, value is what you get, and that is from Warren Buffett. And that's a wrap on today's business update. Up next is our newspaper review after the break. Do stay with us.
Welcome back, and thank you so much, Hadiza Galadima, for the business news. Moving on to our next segment, the newspaper review, and I'm excited to announce with you today that I am here with Gloria Atta. Hello, Gloria.
Hello, Hadiza.
Zainab, good to have you here today.
Zainab, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. So let's move quickly to the business of today. We're starting with the leadership front page, and it says an interesting headline here, quite unfortunate, of course. U.S. naming of Nigeria 3D BDCs as ISIS financiers raises concern. It seems we're having image of being, insecurity agent inside and outside our nation. What's going on?
Well, for me, I think that, the U.S. naming ISIS financiers, first off, I think it is actually a welcome development in the fight against terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria, because, when it comes to financing terrorism, money is actually the lifeblood of terrorism. So being able to fish out the people who have constantly, been funding these groups to perpetrate evil within communities and the nation at large, I think it is actually a welcome development. However, there are other very important things that we should also look at. Yes, the naming of these three Nigerians as terrorism financiers, it brings back a reminder to other incidents that have happened before, because this is not the first time that these kinds of lists are coming out. If Nigerians would recall, in 2021, the United Arab Emirates released a list, and I think about 40 people were convicted for terrorism-related offenses, and 6 Nigerians were in that list. And later on in that same 2021, I think in September, the Nigerian government also released a list of 400 names that were allegedly funding terrorism in the country. So we've seen these releases over and over and over again. But beyond these lists being released, what we want to see is considerable improvements. Yes, considerable action. Now these names are out. We know who they are. What next? So this puts a lot of pressure on the federal government to start, doing what is needed to ensure that there is a lasting solution. Because if we want to, retrospect and look at the fight against terrorism in 2021 and now 2026, we need to start asking ourselves very important questions. Are we really winning the war?
Yeah. What does this actually mean to the image of our country? Because there's something about, we just keeping our dirty linings in our country, but now we're going international with this wrong image. What does this mean to us as a country?
Well, for us as a country, if your country has been identified for all the wrong reasons, I think that for every right-thinking government, it is like a wake-up call for them to try and rewrite that narrative. Now, as much as, just like you said, when it comes to insecurity, Nigerians are most of the time known for negative reasons.
Yeah.
But when you look at our entertainment industry, you look at other industries, we are known for positives. People want to identify with us in those regards. So I think this is like a push for the federal government to now look at how to start rewriting this narrative. And how do they do that? It is by action. These people that have been named, we need to start seeing arrests. We need to start seeing convictions, and prosecutions, because this is, like I said, we always see this arrest, we always see this list, especially in that 2021. When those lists came out, the federal government was trying to cover some things, if you ask me.
Because I think we've had names of people called people who are in power, who should even resign shamefully, but still remain in power as it is now. But you've mentioned something that a right-thinking government should be doing something about it. Do you think Nigerians are really interested, the Nigerian government, do you think they prioritize these and are looking for a way out of it?
Well, we have to also look at the stats. I think that I do not want to be negative. Let's look at what they are currently doing. We know that over the years, the federal government has constantly come out to tell us that they are actually passionate, or they are actually interested in ensuring.
We've heard a lot of coming out to mention that
peace.
they are
and
going
we've
to do
seen
something.
over the years that the budgets for defense has consistently increased. We've seen them buying more aircraft. We've seen them
ammunition.
Collaborating. This naming actually is as a result of the collaboration with the U.S. government. So some of the things we are seeing indicates that, they are moving towards helping the country to achieve lasting peace. But beyond that, we want to start seeing
action. Not just statements
we
or
want
headlines.
more political will, because a few months ago, the former chief of army staff, General Buratai, he came out to say that the government knows where most of these terrorists are. Of course. We've heard Sheikh Gumi come out to say that. We've heard so many people come out to say that we know these people by their names, we know them by their faces.
If they don't know where they are, how do they negotiate? Of course they negotiate.
It's very, very important that now we need to start seeing more political will. It's not just by knowing them, it's not just by naming them and publishing their pictures, but by arresting them, convicting them, and we seeing considerable reduction in the level of insecurity in the country. So those are some of the things I feel we should start looking at.
If other countries are actually intentional about bringing this down, Nigerians seems to be using this for some kind of business. It's beginning to look like some people are not allowing this to die because they are actually benefiting from it. Because at this stage, we have some of these bandits even coming out to address us as a nation, to talk to us and threaten us. We've had a recent video from Turiji. So those are some kind of encouraging videos to other subsequent bandit members coming up. It's gives them stamina and encourage them. So do you think Nigeria is even actually ready, away from the headlines, away from the promises? Do you think they are intentional, or they actually want this to go away, or probably some people are benefiting from this?
I think right now it's very obvious that a number of persons are benefiting from this. Just like this list that came out, this person who is helping move this one is a lot of money has also gone to him as some form of compensations. And over the years, over the months, every time we come out to read security updates and all, you see that most of the people who are being apprehended by troops, there are people who are collaborators, logistics suppliers. So it is a chain. And it saddens me to say that it is becoming a very thick chain.
Sometimes we never get to the grassroots, the bigger people.
Yes,
so we just get to meet up with those smaller ones. Maybe they arrest them. You don't even know how they end up. So we are not even getting to the root of it at all.
Yes,
we're just making statements that tell people that, okay, we are making efforts and this is what we're doing as federal government. Let's move on to our next headline quickly. Let's see how this unfold. After calling their name, what's next? So the final headline is on the Daily Trust and says, after 126 days in custody, El-Rufai's case adjourned till September. This looks like an interesting, exciting story for some people. El-Rufai has been through a lot. We know because it's due to some political undertone. Tell me, Gloria, where are we going in a nation where speaking up makes you, on being locked away in order for you to be shot? Because after all of these days, after all of this back and forth in court, are they just coming out now to tell us that there are no enough evidence regarding the wiretapping? Why did it take so long for them to realize that there were no issues regarding the wiretapping? So was it just intentional to keep the man totally away from speaking up?
Governor Nasir El-Rufai is actually somebody who has grown to become a very outspoken politician, and he's someone who has served in various capacities, and it's quite sad to an extent to see him having to go through this. But at the same time,
it's scary for me because this is someone that is very grounded. Come to talk of just a normal citizens who have the right to speak up and who should speak up when the leaders are doing wrong.
Yeah, but
for someone who has been in so many power and was still in prison for so long, it rings a bell to the common Nigerians.
But I think one of the things we also need to look at is the reason for his imprisonment, the reason why he was jailed, which is wiretapping. And when you look at the Constitution, I can't really remember the section or the subsection, but it is actually a criminal offense.
Yes.
And he came out by himself without anybody instigating him. He came out on national television to say he did this. And the moment I watched that broadcast, I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that he was going to face the wrath of the law, especially because if you look at over the years, he has already stepped on some toes. We have to be honest. So I don't want to say he brought this upon himself, but I think that the courts are just trying to...
I'm not negating the fact that wiretapping is actually very wrong. The thing is, it's just like a topic for putting him aside. But this is something, he had the confidence to come out and say he did a wiretapping and heard all of this. Why are we looking away from what he heard to just the wiretapping? You get, this is something that is common among them. This is what they've been doing underground without our knowledge. But at some point, because they needed him away, so they're using it, they're just bringing it up now that, okay, he did wiretapping and he should be in prison.
I feel like...
yes, I'm trying to look at the political undertone here.
Yes, I know there's a political undertone, but at the same time, I feel like we should also not be sentimental.
Yes.
Because this is someone, there's this statement, they say that everybody is a thief, but it is the one who gets caught that is publicly announced as the thief. So he was the one that indicted himself. And
probably he never knew this would get to this level. Probably.
But he came on national television for goodness sake.
It was the boldness, the confidence.
Yes, the boldness. And beyond that, of course, that is not the only reason why he's currently facing charges. There are some corruption charges. It's just like somebody who... you've been eyeing somebody that's this person,
one day,
and then he just said something and you're like, yes, the opportunity has actually come.
Yes.
Hey, let's check you here, let's check you there. And if you also remember, in that interview, he also spoke about Dadiata, the activist who went missing. So he made a lot of comments.
Yes, they needed him out of the way. So wiretapping or no wiretapping, I think El-Rufai was, spilling too much. When you're a member already, you have enough information, and and it's either they take you away or you just have to be silent somehow. So wiretapping or no wiretapping, let's believe there's an undertone, and they've kept him away for a long time. I don't know. They're just coming out to say that there was no enough evidence. I think this is actually uncalled for. This is the political system in Nigeria. It's crazy. So we'll be moving on. We'll be ending the newspaper review here. We'll draw the curtain and move on to our next segment, which is the S24 report, coming to you after the break. Stay tuned.
Imagine paying electricity bills, buying fuel for generator, repairing damaged appliances, and then being asked to contribute millions of naira to buy a transformer. That is the reality of many Nigerian communities. In Piwe, along Airport Road in Abuja, residents say they have struggled with transformer problems since 2024. According to community accounts, they first contributed money for repair. The problem returned. Now, residents say the transformer is damaged beyond repair, and the community is being asked to raise about 22 million naira for replacement and installation. But here's the problem. Nigeria Electricity Regulator (NERC) says it is not the responsibility of electricity customers or communities to buy, replace, or repair transformers, poles, and related equipment. NERC says these costs are already included in electricity tariffs, and distribution companies should fund such assets through their revenue, loans, or shareholder funds. Yet, across Nigeria, many communities still pay for transformers, poles, cables, and repairs while still paying electricity bills. This creates a double burden. Wealthier estates can raise money quickly. Poorer communities remain in darkness, and the national data tells a bigger story. World Bank data shows Nigeria electricity access was about 61% in 2023, and tens of millions still lack electricity. Even connected customers face unreliable supply, estimated billing, grid failures, and infrastructure gaps. So the real question is simple. If customers are not meant to fund DISCO's infrastructure, why are communities still being forced to do it? Until regulations become enforcement, many Nigerians will keep paying for darkness and then paying again for light.
This is Political Arena on S24 television. As Nigerians, in less than 7 to 8 months, are heading toward 2027 general elections, concern about the credibility of the electoral process continue to generate a debatable discussion. Many Nigerians are asking whether the ruling party will support a level of playing field and allow the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct the free, fair, and credible elections ahead of 2027. Joining me this afternoon, I am joined by my guest, Habibu Ibrahim Suleiman, who is a politician and a member of the strong opposition so far. Mr. Habibu, welcome to Political Arena on S24 television.
Thank you, Mr. Abakar. Thank you for having me.
It's really a pleasure to have a conversation with you after your party direct primaries.
Yeah, actually, it was a very remarkable achievement in the opposition to have conducted all the primaries successfully. And, yeah.
But we saw some level of irregularities there. Are you satisfied with the way things transpire?
Saying successfully has nothing to do with being 100% perfect, or in every electoral processes, being it primaries or the general election, there must be some issues here and there that we learn to correct the mistakes, because the democracy is still
okay. On a scale of 1 to 10,
democracy, actually, yes.
Can you grade your internal party direct primaries?
It was good, very good.
Nigerians are watching you.
Exactly. It was very good. There were some problems, issues that you can avoid. We can avoid them with time. Actually, we learn from, like I said, every election period comes with different dimensions
Challenges.
and challenges. The dimension must have challenges, you know. So this one too is not an exception. So we'll find a way to navigate around all these challenges and kind of get to the general election. Actually,
Well, thank
just
you
like
so much.
the party, the ruling party has their own problems. Like in Nasarawa State now. You know
Well,
what is
coming back to
going
the topic of discussion,
Exactly.
do you believe Nigerians and Nigeria is fully prepared for free, fair, and credible elections in 2027, looking at the challenges that Nigerians are currently going on, especially with the electoral umpire?
You know, you asked two questions, Nigeria and Nigerians. For Nigerians, which I fall among the Nigerians that you're talking about, I'm ready for the election because my PVC is ready and I'm just waiting for the day of
right
the
moment.
election and the right time for me to go and vote. But talking about Nigeria, when we say Nigeria, then Alabaka, we're talking about the people ruling the country or the people in government. Actually, people in government are not willing to allow the election to happen. I know they can't stop the election because it's like a law. It's like something that is constant. It must take place for as long as Nigeria is still intact as a country. There must be election. But the right word I think you should use is undermining, whether they should undermine the election, which I believe they can do anything within their own powers to make sure that they undermine the opposition.
Well,
and
maybe
undermine the
somebody
election.
may say that he came from the opposition. That is the reason why you spoke that way.
Exactly. That's my own role to play. I am the opposition. Do you expect me to fold my arms and just let them? That's what they are saying.
Okay, now it's a new version of Daniel Boala sitting right here with
No, not at all. Not at all. I have integrity, so I cannot be compared with someone I don't even trust in his integrity, actually.
Well, these are actually the battle between politicians.
Those are my words. Thank you.
Well, go on, please.
All right. Like I said, they will do anything
To undermine the
to
electoral
undermine
process.
the election and try to find a way to kind of manipulate some of the electoral processes for them to kind of get themselves into the power again for the second term. But what I'm trying to assure you, I want to let you know, is that Nigeria's democracy is something no one can undermine. They're just deceiving themselves, because Nigeria's democracy is Africa's democracy. And each and every country in Africa is looking up to Nigeria.
As a giant of Africa.
And each and every democratic nation in the whole world is looking up to Nigeria's democracy, because they're pretty sure that if Nigeria's democracy is being ensured and sustained, then every democracy in Africa will be ensured and will be sustained. So with this, I believe the whole world is looking at what is going on in Nigeria today, and they will keep on watching up until the election result are being pronounced.
Okay, this goes down to my next question.
Thank you.
You have been accusing the ruling party of undermining the electoral umpire.
Okay.
Now, is the ruling party willing to allow the INEC to operate independently during the elections?
This is
Let's be neutral.
Yes, this is where each and every Nigerian will have concern. And I have concern, and I believe you too, as a Nigerian, not as a journalist, have concern over. Believe me, there is a serious problem. There's a serious problem looking at what has been happening from the selection of the very person to rule, to kind of drive the electoral umpire, the kind of accusations on him, all the proven allegations.
Okay, those are allegations, yeah.
All allegations being proven against him, all the facts being put in place for this very government to act. The president couldn't do anything. With due respect, the president could have done something if the opposition political parties are not kind of confident about the very person driving the independent umpire that is supposed to be independent and supposed to conduct free and fair and credible election, not just being free and fair, but credible election. We have been complaining about the credibility of elections right from 1999. We know what happened in 2003. We know what happened with Maurice Ewe, Professor Maurice Ewe, in 2007. People have been complaining. In 2011, people were kind of bitterly complaining about JIGA, and so also in 2015. It was a bit kind of okay in 2015, and we were expecting it to kind of grow. But from what is happening today, it seems like there is a decline, and people are kind of losing their own trust on this very umpire, which is expected of it to build trust between itself and the Nigerian electorate, actually.
So you mean Nigerians should actually shine their eyes ahead of 2027?
Nigerians should not just shine their eyes, they should wake up, because it seems to me like they are sleeping. Like nobody is seeing what is actually going on. But we need to wake up, we need to make calls, we need to let them know that we know what is actually going on, we know some of their plans. Because the moment, wherever your own thinking and smartness stops, that's where another person's thinking and smartness
Due
starts.
to time, Mr. Habibu,
Yes.
what major challenges could affect the credibility of 2027 general elections?
Like I said,
in a nutshell.
Undermining the election. You know, if you're trying to undermine something, one cannot predict how you're going to undermine it. But you're going to have like a kind of a think tank that will come up with a strategy on how to undermine the election.
Okay, so how can INEC gain trust and confidence in the heart of Nigerians before the elections? You spoke about the credibility of the INEC chairman.
You know, from now to the period of election, we have about 7 months. And there are a series of activities to be done within this very window. What the INEC should do is try and make sure that they convince Nigerians
That they can deliver it.
Look at what happened in the last by-elections that just
Nasarawa,
happened.
Ekiti,
in Nasarawa,
Kano, and
Ekiti.
rest, yeah.
Look at what happened. It was clearly laughable that I don't want to say something.
Okay,
actually,
let's go
but
to the next.
we know
What
that
role should political parties play in ensuring peaceful and credible elections?
what
roles do
those-
political party play in ensuring peaceful and credible elections?
well, political parties should play the watchdog act. Let me put it this way: let them sensitize their people, educate their own supporters on the rules and regulations of every elections, give them the guidelines on how to cast their vote, how to protect their vote.
Okay, do you
and how
think
to ensure
opposition parties have fair chance in 2027?
Opposition parties.
Yeah, with the deregistering some political party, even though Supreme Court
This
have
is just this is just a laughable stuff, and I don't want to talk about that. But if there will be free, fair, and credible election, I want to assure you, Bala Bakar, that this ruling party will come distant third in the election.
Okay, I give you 1 second or 1 minute, please, in less than 59 seconds. What message do you have for Nigerians ahead of 2027 in a nutshell? Not to your members of the opposition, but rather to Nigerians.
I want to call on all Nigerians, concerned Nigerians, to know that we have come a long way, and we have a very long way to go democratically. I would like to call on all Nigerians to make sure that their PVCs are intact, and whenever they are going to the polling units, they should go with those things in mind, those major issues that are kind of eating each and every Nigerian.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Insecurity, the economic challenges.
We have to
all
draw
this
the
kind of
curtain
stuff.
of the show
They should
here.
put it at the back of their mind, and when they are going to the polling unit, they should vote the right person. And voting the right person, not just the president, right from the grassroots, the state assembly members, the governors,
From the councillor.
the national assemblies. No, the councillor election is not INEC's election, so it's not.
Well, okay.
Exactly.
It's
I'm
SEC
talking
election,
about
but
the
yeah, the general
2027
election.
general
Yes,
election.
yeah.
The state assembly, the governors, the National Assembly members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, and the president himself. Because voting just the president and voting robust National Assembly members like the way we are having will not help the country move
Thank you
anywhere.
so much. It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for always honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much.
This is where we draw the curtain of political arena on S24 television. Thank you and bye for now.
At viewing centers across Ibadan, fans gather for the weekend's big games. But beyond the football, many come for something else. The spirited Yoruba commentary of Aderonke Adeshola, a presenter whose blend of banter, analysis, and cultural depth has earned her nationwide admiration.
There's something we call banter in sport, especially football. So I input that, banter into all of my content because I know that there is no how a winning team won't be, giving the losing side some body eating.
At a local viewing center, speakers crackle to life as Adeshola's voice booms in Yoruba. Fans erupt with laughter and excitement as she narrates every move with passion. The owner says her commentary has become part of the entertainment.
I played the Yoruba commentary because I love the lady, the way he runs the comments. And he brings some spices, like some people, like he has some kind of things that he used to, for his comments, that make you laugh. Whenever you are listening to it, there is no way you will not laugh.
Her listeners says Adeshola's command of Yoruba set her apart. Authentic, indigenous, and deeply relatable.
Yeah, I'm a Yoruba man, and if you can hear what she's saying, what the response is saying, the Yoruba is the real one.
Away from the microphone, Adeshola juggles another full-time role, which is motherhood. She says the balance is tough, but necessary.
It's not been long I started managing a home, but so far so good. I've been trying to make sure that I do checks and balances for myself from time to time on how to balance taking care of home and taking care of my kid without actually affecting my job. And there's times when if I say that a job is going to really affect me and I won't be able to take care of my kid, I might not accept it and I won't even accept it.
At Splash FM, where she presents her show, Adeshola hopes her journey inspires more women to take up sports broadcasting, especially in the indigenous languages.
I want more women doing what I'm doing in the nearest future. In fact, and the future is here. The future is near because I've seen a lot of ladies presenting Yoruba sports. Though they are not much, but I have colleagues that present Yoruba sports too. And I think anything you do and other people, they actually imitate, you are doing it well.
With her growing influence, Adeshola now aims to take Yoruba sport commentary to the global stage, working with big brands and organizations to showcase the language internationally.
My goal, my next step is to work with big brands, like big organizations, that are willing to take Yoruba on the global stage. Like, I really want to go global. I want people to know that Yoruba language can be out there. The way you translate your Korean, your Chinese, your Japanese, yes, you can also get a translator for Yoruba language in the world of sports.
From radio waves to viewing center, Adeshola is proving that language, culture, and passion can transform sports storytelling. Khadija Muhammad, S24 News.
From foiled terror plots to major police interceptions, security agencies across the country say they are sustaining pressure on criminal networks. Welcome to Security Update on S24 Television. I am Gloria Atta, and here is a roundup of stories making headlines in Nigeria's security landscape today. To start with, troops of Operation Fansan Yamma have foiled a planned terrorist attack in Zamfara State. Acting on intelligence, soldiers laid an ambush along the Kwarna-Jollof axis in Shinkafi and engaged suspected terrorists attempting to move into the area. The attackers fled under heavy gunfire, abandoning a PKT weapon, ammunition, 2 motorcycles, chains suspected to be meant for abducted victims, and 8 military uniforms. Military sources say the uniforms suggest the terrorists may have planned to disguise themselves during the operation. Troops are currently combing the area to track down the fleeing suspects. Meanwhile, in Edo State, police have arrested 4 suspects and killed 1 alleged kidnapper linked to the abduction of a woman at the vegetable market in Benin City earlier this month. Police say operatives of the Intelligence Response Team arrested a suspect during a gun battle, while another was neutralized. Further operations led to 3 additional arrests in Edo and neighboring Delta State. Recovered exhibits include a Lexus SUV allegedly used for the kidnapping, a pump-action shotgun, live cartridges, over 2 million naira in cash, and a motorcycle. Authorities say the suspects have confessed to involvement in the incident and other criminal activities. In Lagos, police have intercepted 47 sacks of military camouflage uniforms and 80 cartons of suspected illicit substances in Surulere. 3 suspects were arrested after intelligence operatives stopped an unregistered truck transporting the items. Preliminary investigators are working to identify the source and intended recipients of the uniforms amid growing concerns over the use of military attire by bandits and other criminal groups. And in Enugu, operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have arrested a businessman over an alleged 30.8 million naira vegetable oil fraud. Investigators say the suspect manipulated a refinery's weighbridge system by filling jerry cans with water to falsify weight measurements before replacing the water with stolen vegetable oil. The anti-graft agency alleges the scheme operated for more than a year, causing substantial losses to the company. The suspect is expected to be charged to court upon conclusion of investigations. And that's all we can take on our security update for today. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep supporting security agencies with timely information. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to Tech World Update, where we discuss technology, innovation, and digital world. I am Aisha Mohammed. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. We begin in Nigeria, where the future of technology education is receiving a significant boost. Veritas University in Abuja has launched new degree programs in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data science, following approval from the National Universities Commission. The development reflects the growing demand for specialized digital skills as governments, businesses, and institutions increasingly rely on emerging technologies to drive innovation and economic growth. Still in Nigeria, efforts to build a responsible AI ecosystem are gaining momentum. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, in collaboration with UNESCO, has presented a new diagnostic report aimed at guiding the development of ethical artificial intelligence across the country. The initiative comes as more than 400 civil servants have already undergone training under a European-backed AI literacy program. Experts say building AI capacity must go hand in hand with governance, ethics, and public trust if the technology is to deliver long-term benefits. And from education and policy to industry collaboration, thousands of technology enthusiasts, innovators, investors, and corporate leaders are convening in Lagos ahead of the African Technology Expo and the upcoming African Tech Festival. Discussions are expected to focus on artificial intelligence adoption, digital infrastructure, data centers, and the future of digital payments across the continent. Analysts say the gathering further reinforces Africa's growing position in the global technology conversation, turning now to the international stage. Global technology markets have experienced significant turbulence, with the Nasdaq 100 shedding more than $1 trillion in market value amidst a sharp sell-off in AI and semiconductor stocks. Investors are reacting to persistent inflation concerns and uncertainty surrounding interest rates, raising questions about the pace of future technology investment. Despite the market volatility, long-term projections from connected technologies remain strong. A new report by research firm Omdia predicts that cellular Internet of Things connections will reach 5.9 billion by 2035. The growth is expected to be driven by next-generation 5G technologies and the increasing deployment of smart devices across industries, cities, transportation systems, and homes worldwide. The focus highlights a broader reality. While markets may fluctuate, the global march towards a more connected and intelligent digital future continues. And that's Tech World Updates, where innovation meets impact and the future stays in focus. Do stay with us as Entertainment News Update is up next with Karimat Hassan. Thank you and bye for now.
Welcome to your entertainment updates on S24 Rundown. Here are the stories making headlines today. First up, Mr. Easy and Temi Otedola are getting a lot of people talking after revealing that they have 9 doctors lined up across different countries ahead of their baby arrival. The celebrity couple shared a detail on their podcast explaining that because of their travel schedule, they wanted to be prepared no matter where Temi goes into labor. Since the story broke, social media has been buzzing, with many people praising the couple for planning ahead, while others say it highlights the kind of privilege most people can only imagine. Still on entertainment, Wizkid has been spotted in Paris alongside some of the biggest names in global music. The Afrobeat star was seen with Lil Baby, Asake, Skepta, Future, and Quavo at the Louis Vuitton Spring-Summer 2027 show during the Paris Fashion Week. Videos from the event have been circulating online, with fans excited to see Wizkid sharing space with both Afrobeat and international hip-hop stars at one of the fashion's biggest events. The moment once again shows the growing influence of African music and artists on the global stage. Away from the local buzz and onto the international scene, Lionel Messi turns 39 today, and the football icon is still proving that class truly lasts forever. Even at 39, Messi remains at the center of global football conversation, continuing to inspire fans with his longevity, consistency, and record-breaking career. For many football lovers, his birthday is not just a celebration. And finally, away from celebrity headlines and into culture, Northern Nigerian marriage traditions are once again drawing admiration for their beauty, depth, and symbolism. From the Kamu, which is the colorful celebration of the bride, to the Nikah, the Islamic marriage rite that formally seals the union. Hausa wedding traditions remain among the most culturally significant marriage customs in Nigeria. The ceremonies often blend family, faith, and festivity with customs like the Sedaki, the dowry prize, and the Kayan Lafi, the presentation of gifts to the bride, all playing important roles as conversations around Nigerian culture continues to trend. Many are celebrating northern weddings as a reminder of the richness and diversity of our traditions. And that's our entertainment update for today. I am Karimat Hassan. Stay tuned for our next segments.
Hello sports lovers, welcome to another exciting sports update. Record have been shattered, World Cup giants are feeling the pressure, and Nigerian athletes are making serious statements ahead of the Commonwealth Games. From Cristiano Ronaldo's emphatic response to his critics, to England's frustrating nights, and Favour Ashes' sprinting brilliance, we've got plenty to talk about. Let's get straight into it. Cristiano Ronaldo is not done yet. The Portugal captain silenced his critics in spectacular fashion, scoring twice in a crushing 5-0 victory over Uzbekistan to put Portugal on the verge of the World Cup knockout stages. And with that early strike, Ronaldo made history, becoming the first player to ever score in 6 different World Cups, stretching all the way back to Germany in 2006. After a difficult opening game and growing calls for him to be dropped, the 41-year-old answered in the best way possible. Following his second goal, Ronaldo was seen shouting, "I'm back, I'm back." He later admitted it's been a dark week and said hard work had brought him through. Portugal are now one step away from the last 32, and Ronaldo has once again reminded the football world that he still has plenty left to offer. Meanwhile, England failed to sparkle as they were held to a frustrating goalless draw by Ghana. Despite dominating possession and firing 19 shots, Thomas Tuchel's side simply could not find a way past Ghana goalkeeper Benjamin Asiri. Nico O'Reilly came closest with a header that rattled the crossbar later on. The result leaves both teams on 4 points and almost assured qualification, but questions remain about England's ability to go all the way. For Ghana, ranked 73rd in the world, it was a heroic defensive performance that earned them a valuable point. There was a sad news from the French camp as head coach Didier Deschamps returned home following the death of his mother. The French Football Federation confirmed that assistant coach Guy Stéphane will take charge against Norway on Friday. France have already qualified for the knockout stage, but emotions will be high as the team looks to support their manager during this difficult time. And finally, Nigerian sprint star Favour Ashes stole the show at the Commonwealth Games national trials in Lagos. The Delta State athlete blazed to a personal best at 19.93 seconds to win the men's 100-meter title. After overcoming visa problems and spending months training in Nigeria, Asel revealed he simply wanted to rediscover himself. His victory headlines a strong Nigerian team preparing for the Commonwealth Game in Glasgow next month. Veteran Patient Okon-George also rode back the years to claim the women's 400-meter title, while Tyler Johnson captured his first national crown in the men's 400 meters. So Ronaldo writes another chapter in football history. England are left searching for answers. France rally around Didier Deschamps, and Nigerian athletes are flying on cylinder ahead of Glasgow. I am Stephen Ilebo. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned because in sports, history never sleeps, and neither do the headlines. See you next time. Coming up next is PG News after the break.
Good afternoon, Naija people. Una welcome to our Pidgin Tori on top S24 rundown. El-Rufai wan make court comot eye for wire tapping matter. Former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai dey arrange to tell court make dey close in case after the Department of State Services (DSS) talk say they no get any other witness to bring come court again. The DSS dey prosecute El-Rufai on top 5-count charge for Federal High Court wey dey Abuja. They talk say he wire tap people phone calls without law, and he break national security rules. Inside court, the lawyer wey dey stand for DSS, Oluwole Aladedoye, tell the judge say the agency don't stop to bring witnesses. Because of this one, El-Rufai lawyer self, Paul Erokoro-San, talk say the government no get any strong evidence against the former governor again, so make her just throw away the case. And for inside education matter, computer problem dey delay NELFON money, students con dey vex. This bad market don't leave thousands of students without shishi for almost 2 months now. NELFON people say na their website they get technical glitch. One big person inside the NELFON agency can confirm and say the delay they happen because their system gets small issue and they try check all the money wey bounce back, make they for fee send them back. In talk say they work round the clock to fix the computer system, make they fit start to pay the student their monthly allowance as it supposed be. And inside politics, Enugu lawmaker wey comot from Labour Party go join APC, they show in scorecard. Honorable Chima Obi Atu, where they represent Enugu North and South for House of Representatives, don't they defend why he comot for Labour Party go join All Progressive Congress. He talk say he switch because he won't bring better development and government property come near in people. As in they show the book of the things wey you don't do for 3 years inside Enugu, Atu talk say political party na just platform to serve the people and nothing else. He can say in collabo with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Peter Mba na because the two men they ready to bring road, good security and make economy better for everybody. Now why in quick go join body with them cause he want better for him people. And for inside health, proper confusion don't enter Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital for Shagamu, Ogun State, as the Association of Resident Doctors start strike, wey no get end date. The doctors stop work because government refused to pay them their allowances and other welfare money for many months now. This strike don't leave many sick people stranded for hospital, and inside the emergency room, critical care yard, work don't slow down well. The doctors don't swear, say they no go touch anything again until government pay them their money. And inside security matter, the United States government block 1 Nigerian man and 3 companies within Nigeria because they suspect say na them they help send money give ISIS terrorists. America talks say this sanction na part of big plan to catch the people and companies wey dey wire money for ISIS operations across the world. The Nigerian man Mukhtar Adamu Muhammad, na in America talk say him be the money connection for ISIS inside West Africa, and the 3 bureau de change companies na in get them. The names of these 3 companies where they don't catch now: 929 Exchange Bureau de Change Limited, Manhattan Bureau de Change Limited, Generation Currency Bureau de Change Limited. American government talk say they don't block these companies, make the terrorists no see any line to take wire money for their bad work again. Now the Obonge story where we carry come today be that till we jam again. My name na Sidika Yusuf.
Thank you so much for the PG News, Sidika. As always, we've now come to the end of S24 News Rundown. Do join us tomorrow, same time, and do not forget to follow us on all